Welcome guys to my YouTube channel. Alright, so if you are new over here, please click subscribe. Okay guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you are new over here, please click on the subscribe button below. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So if you are new over here, please click on the subscribe button below. Well, that was different camera shots, experimented with different camera setting. Let's check it out. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you're new over here, please click on the subscribe button below. Today, this video will be splitted into two different parts. The first part will be consisting of the best camera setting for vlogging. For a start, the camera I've been using since I started my vlogging videos is the Canon M50. Most probably, all of you have came across this particular camera, which is quite famous in the vlogging world. So while shooting videos on the Canon M50, there will be an additional crop factor. Okay, so to shoot videos on the Canon M50, it is quite okay with your 15mm to 45mm lens, kit lens. Okay, because this is equivalent to a 24 to 72. Apart from the fact that I have the Canon M50 with my kit lens, I have also separately purchased the Viltrox Speed Booster, which will convert from EFM to the EF. So I'll be able to use my EF lens. Okay. On a separate note, I also possess the what they call as the 50mm Nifty 50 lens. Okay. So these are the only items that I have together with my Canon M50, and this has been quite a good journey. I've been able to shoot variety of photos. I've been able to do variety of video shots, and this particular camera has been helpful to my entire YouTube journey. Okay, coming back to our original topic for today will be what is the best camera setting for vlogging. So I am going to show to all of you today on how I set my Canon M50 with the video settings.
Okay guys, let's continue on the best camera setting for vlogging. Okay, so for a start, I think the most important thing is, okay, this is the Canon M50 right here. Okay, so this is the on and off button. Okay, once you are already in this on and off button, the most important thing you're gonna set is to the video setup. Okay, so the most important thing here is the video setup. So as you can see here, this is the important video movie recording. Okay, so once you're already in this movie recording, just hit to choose mode and just choose for manual. Okay, I am not excluding the fact that this can be shot on auto mode, but preferably it is best to be shot on manual mode. Okay, I will be explaining to you later why you shouldn't shoot all your vlogging videos in auto mode. Alright guys, since we are already in this mode, the next most important thing we need to do is head to the menu button. Okay, so in the menu button, you'll be able to see that the shooting mode has been set to manual. Okay, this is what first we set when we on the camera. Okay, then next, this is the recording quality. Okay, so for your information, I record all my videos on HD 1080 and only on 30 frames per second. Okay, so I know that most of the people, they will record on 60 frames per second. Okay, 60 frames per second, yeah, because this will give you more clarity to your videos. Okay, the videos will be quite good in resolution. Alright, even with the same 1080 HD, but the resolution will be sharper. Okay, what I mean by the resolution over here is the image quality, but I still prefer 30 frames per second because this will actually give us a bit of motion blur. Okay, it can be chosen over here. All right, so HD here is referring to the 720p. Okay, FHD is definitely referring to 1080p. Okay, this is 23.98p, which is actually 24 frames per second. We are actually currently shooting on 29.97, which is actually 30 frames per second, and there's a 60 frames per second on 1080p. And finally, for this particular camera, we have a 4K at 24 frames per second. Okay, I have not tested my 4K videos yet. This is due to the fact that a very short video of 4K will actually consume so much of space, and I have not seen any necessity for us to proceed with shooting in 4K. Okay, let's set to the next item on this particular thing. Okay, this particular camera you can be used together with an external microphone. Alright, so my sound recording I've been set in manual mode. Okay, there's a reason why. Okay, because setting this in auto mode sometimes will actually clip my particular audio, so I've actually managed to control this to manual level of sound. Okay, so you can actually use this on manual or auto, but I prefer to use this on my manual. Okay, so I think this is about white balance. So you can also set your white balance to how you want it to be, your picture style. Okay, so the autofocus method. Okay, so this is the AF method. Alright, so I have actually used this particular thing called as the L plus tracking. Okay, so what will this do is actually it will track your particular face. Okay, you don't even need to choose, it will actually auto detect your face. Alright, in a way it will also detect your eye, so it is very good with this particular mode, because if you are vlogging, you don't want your particular camera to actually go into autofocus and then loses you again, and then go into autofocus again. Alright, so what will this do is the autofocus will be adjusted within a split second. Okay, so since this will be adjusted within a split second, is going to give you an advantage of how your vlogging videos is going to be. Alright, so just set this to AF L plus tracking. Okay, so nothing else here unless for this IS setting. Okay, this is a image stabilization setting. Okay, since I'm actually using the kit lens, so the IS mode is on. Okay, digital image stabilization, so far I've actually kept it in enable. I know that some people usually use this in a disable mode, but I've decided to keep it in a enable mode. Last but not least, okay, the wrench icon. Okay, so this is actually currently my system is shot in an NTSC. Okay, so I mean there might be a difference in region for NTSC and PAL, where I mean it's technically between the America and also the European part, but since we are in Asia, so I will still prefer to shoot this in NTSC. So it's actually a choice to be made. Will you need the NTSC or the PAL? Alright, okay, so since we have done all this, next let's head to our camera setting and let's see how are we going to shoot this in manual mode. Okay, if you're going to click on the info button, which is situated within the camera, you'll be able to see a lot of things here. Okay, so this is a basic understanding of how you're going to shoot your videos. This is currently showing that this is in the manual mode. Okay, your shutter speed is at 160. Alright, your aperture is at f3.5, and my ISO I'm shooting currently is at 1600. Alright, so this is actually indicating my microphone input level. The rest is actually showing your auto white balance. Okay, so this is actually showing my frame per second. I'm shooting in 1080p. Okay, So this is also indicating that my microphone is on, so I'll be able to see if my microphone is on or not. But the most important thing of this entire setting will be the ability to control this in manual mode. Okay, so as you can see over here, you need to actually enable your histogram. Alright, so this is my histogram and I've enabled it. Okay, say that if I want to adjust my video to be slightly a bit darker. Okay, so this particular thing is getting a bit darker, and actually my histogram is shifting to the left, which is actually mostly on the black side. The most important thing here is I must always try to keep my histogram in between the mid-tones. Okay, the one on the left is actually indicating the color of black. Right, the one on the right is mostly on the whites. Right, so what we can try to do is we will try to keep our histogram in the mid-tones. Okay, so as you can see over here, as I play around with my setting, I'll be able to get a perfect color of my videos. Okay, say I'll be able to get a perfect raw video with a good image and color. Okay, so the rule of thumb here is since I'm actually shooting on 30 frames per second, my shutter speed should be double of my frame rate. Okay, so I would like to maintain this at 1/60. Okay guys, for the aperture, I mean this is the aperture for the kit lens. The maximum will go is at f3.5. Okay, you'll be able to use different aperture over here. Okay, so the higher you go with the aperture, you'll get a bit darker. So the most important thing here is to lower down your aperture so that you get in more lights. Okay, while the ISO, okay, so the ISO I've been using was 1600, so I can actually go lower, right? But the image will be darker. Okay, so I've actually chosen to be 1600. So what will be the impact of having a higher ISO? At times your particular footage will be quite grainy. Okay, once you put it into the laptop, it will be quite grainy. Alright guys, but I think if you're able to control your aperture and also your shutter speed, it won't be too grainy after all. Okay, so let's see how does the autofocus work. Okay, so I'm focusing on this particular dinosaur right now. Okay, while also I'm trying to move this dinosaur over here, and you can see that actually the autofocus is actually moving along with this dinosaur. Okay, so as since the space is quite limited, it is able to move. Okay, so say that if I want to immediately change to this particular dinosaur. Okay, so now this dinosaur is being focused on the lens. Okay, so the lens is actually being focused on the chosen area. Okay, so there won't be much different of how this looks, but what it will help us do is it will actually enhance our vlogging videos. Okay, I'm just giving you an example that this can actually enhance your vlogging videos because the AF mode is quite good on the Canon. Okay,
Alright, so I've shown you guys my camera setting to shoot my vlogging videos. Okay, so as per my preference, I chose to shoot all my videos in 1080p with 30 frames per second. I can show you guys how will it look when you shoot it in 24 frames per second or 60 frames per second on 1080p. Okay, let's check out 24 frames per second on 1080p. Okay, so I'm currently shooting on 24 frames per second on 1080p. Okay, so you'll be able to see that there is slightly a motion blur. Okay, in fact, because since we usually shoot on 30 frames per second, so this 24 frames per second has decreased to a total of 5 to 6 frames per second. Okay, so as I wave this particular item, you can see that there'll be a bit of motion blur to this. Alright, so let's check out the 30 frames per second on 1080p. Okay guys, so currently I'm shooting on 30 frames per second on 1080p. Okay, so as I wave this particular item, you can see that the motion blur is a bit better. Okay, it is a bit better from the 24 frames per second. Alright, because there is an additional frame from the 24 frames per second. Okay, so there is a bit of difference from the 24 to 30. Let's check out the 60 frames per second on the Canon M50. Okay, right now I'm shooting on 60 frames per second on 1080p. So as I wave this particular item, it can be seen that the motion blur has decreased a lot. Okay, the particular video is quite a bit of reality and there's not much of the motion blur. Okay, so this is what you get when you shoot in 60 frames per second. I know for a fact that a lot of YouTubers likes to shoot on 60 frames per second, but my preference will still be the 30 frames per second. Okay guys, so that's about it on the 24 frames per second, the 30 frames per second and the 60 frames per second. Now let's get back to 30 frames per second. Okay, we are back to 30 frames per second. Alright, just for info sharing, I have not shot my videos in 4K, neither did I shoot my videos in 720p. Okay, the reason is this particular Canon M50 has a slow motion at 720p for 120 frames per second. Okay, so usually I shoot all my slow motion videos with the 720p. To be factual, there is not much different in terms of resolution for 720p at 120 frames per second when it is interpreted into 1080p during my post-production editing. Okay, so I think there's a few videos on this on YouTube where you can check it out. Shooting on Canon M50 with 720p for 120 frames per second, it can still be interpreted into 1080p with not much loss of clarity on the video. Alright guys, I've not chosen to shoot my particular videos in 4K due to the fact that I'll be losing my autofocus, number one. Okay, number two, there is additional crop factor on the 4K for Canon M50. Okay, if I'm gonna use this for vlogging, I might as well use this on 1080p guys. Okay, so if I'm gonna use this on handheld mode where I'm gonna shoot things, then shooting on 4K can be considered. Alright, okay guys, as a conclusion today, I'm just gonna advise all of you is try to find what best suits your style of vlogging. Okay, so I've explained in detail the style that suits my type of vlogging. I always go with manual mode instead of an auto mode. Okay, so the reason is using auto mode will actually give the camera the advantage of choosing what will best fits the image or the video quality. But if you're going to change it to the manual mode, you have all the rights to control what fits best to your quality of video. Alright, so I've actually explained to you guys my way of shooting videos will always be at 1080p 30 frames per second. As for now, which is 2020, 1080p 30 frames per second is still a good vlogging video to be shot on. Alright, so I'm just going to explain in short that if you're using a mobile phone, even this kind of settings can be seen on your phone. Alright, but the difference will be from your DSLR or your mirrorless camera is the ability to control your phone with the aperture, the shutter speed and the ISO. All these settings can be used on a mobile phone. Okay, technically I'm done with the first part of the video today. Okay, so let's check out the second part of our video, which is how to start editing on a video software. Okay, so in depth The second part will actually cover a lot of things from the start to the beginning, from how do you segregate all your folders after recording all your videos to the exporting part out of the video software. Okay guys, so let's check it out over there.
Okay guys, so the software that I'm going to use today will be the Adobe Premiere Pro 2020. Okay, so if you're using any other softwares, this tutorial will only be a baseline to you because I'm using the Adobe Premiere Pro. So the most important step to begin with, ensure that once you have already completed all your recording videos, that you actually find a proper storage area within your laptop or your desktop. So in this case, I've actually allocated my local disk D as my base storage area. This is due to the fact that a lot of videos will actually consume much higher space. Okay, so while it's consuming higher space, you might need a backup external drive, but in the meantime you can actually store it into your internal drive. Okay guys, so let's see. I've segregated this under the folder called Adobe Project. Okay, so say that I am currently recording for a project. Okay, so this will be my breakdown of folders. Okay, so I have recorded on my Canon M50, so this is all the footage. Okay, then I also have my own sports camera, the Icon H9R, so this will be the footage. Okay, say you're also trying to record from your phone, then you can also break it down under your folder. Alright, for additional items, you can actually include your thumbnail folder into this particular thing. This is where you create your thumbnails. I also have a video for my on-screen recording, so this will be the videos of how I do my on-screen recording. Okay, and then some other sub items wherever that you deem fit it is necessary. Okay, so there is also a segregated folder for audio. Okay, so this is where I find my audio. We will head to the audio free audio usage later on, guys. Okay, the free audio usage, you can get it from SoundCloud or you can get it from YouTube. I've been previously using all my free audio from YouTube. I just managed to venture into SoundCloud right now using the free audio from SoundCloud, but definitely you need to give credit to the owner of this particular tracks, okay, as part of a video. Alright, so once you have already completed your entire layout by segregating all your footages into folders, well, this will be an easy way, and then you can start hitting onto the software. Okay, so while you're waiting for the software to start, if your laptop or your desktop has a higher capacity of RAM, then there will not be any problem to immediately start it. Okay, once you are already inside the software of Adobe Premiere Pro, okay, you'll be able to see on your left hand side the new project or the open project. Okay, so in this case we're going to open up a new project. Okay, so just click on the new project. Okay, say that most probably you need to put in your title of this project, vlogging settings. This is what I'm going to put in today. Okay, so the location is up to you where you're gonna place it. Okay, so in this case I have a segregated folders for all my destination for new project. You can include this as part of your segregated folders specifically for one particular editing video. Okay, so there's no need to edit all this inside. Okay, once you've already changed it to the name, just click on the OK button. Alright, upon clicking on the OK button, you will come across this particular landscape for your workspace. Well, this particular landscape for your workspace is actually the default. You can change it around by actually indicating this from your workspaces. Okay, you can choose over here. You need to just head into the Windows window and then the workspace, and you'll be able to check it. I find this particular workspace to be okay for my type of video editing, and I don't think there'll be much problem to it. Okay guys, so once you have already completed this part of entering into the software, the next important thing that you're going to do is by trying to import those footages into your video software. Okay, just right click on this particular item. Okay, this is under the project setup item. Click import. Okay, once you have clicked import, head out to the area where you have already stored all your footages. Say this is what I have stored for myself today. I'm going to choose this. Okay, say you need to choose these 4 items, just click on the open file. Alright, so now all these 4 videos has been loaded into the project panel. Okay, once it has been loaded into the project panel, now the most important thing is for you to set up your sequence. Okay, so in order to set up your sequence, number 1, under this project panel, particularly at this button which is indicating as a new item, click on the new item and click on the sequence. Okay, so up to this moment I have been using the ABC HD and I've been using the 1080p at 30 frames per second because I shoot all my vlogging videos at 1080p 30 frames per second, as I've mentioned previously. So if you're shooting in 24 or you're shooting in 25 frames per second, you can also choose this. Certain people is actually shooting this in 1080p at 60 frames per second. So in my scenario, I'm shooting this at 1080p 30 frames per second. Okay guys, so I'll be choosing these particular settings and click OK. Now your entire foot frame of the sequence is already into your setup. Okay, once you have completed the sequence, once you have already included the sequence, now you'll be able to start editing your videos. Since you have already imported 4 videos into the project panel, let's say we are choosing these particular videos, just double click on this video and it will be included in this particular panel. This particular panel consists of the source, the lumetri scopes, the effect control, the audio. So what we're going to look over here is the source. Okay, so say this is your particular video, you can click on the play. Alright, under this particular panel, you can also choose your mark in and your mark out. To the fact that the mark in is actually indicated as an I and the mark out is indicated as an O. So say I would like to take a footage from here, and you can see it has been highlighted as the in, and as I understand that this will be the most important part and this will be my out. Okay, once I've already chosen which particular time frame that has been needed to use the particular video, then next I'll be able to pull this. Okay, so I'll be pulling from this photo directly into this particular panel. Okay, so I'll be repeating. You can actually pull in separately for only the video, or you can separately pull it out to be the audio. Okay, so in this case I need both, so I'll be pulling both together as a video and an audio. Okay guys, so now you can see that under my sequence panel here, the video extracted which I've chosen is actually here. And if I'm going to play this particular thing, I can see that my entire video is still playing here. Okay, so once when I've already completed this particular sequence, the next is I'm going to choose a different type of video. Say this is the next video that I'm going to choose, and say that this will be the time frame that I need to do up to this moment. Okay, so I've already chosen the video. I'll be dragging this particular video into the sequence panel again. So now I have both videos chosen by my own, and as part of my project setup, I have two different videos here. Okay guys, so you can continue to do this for the next items or the next video that you have chose. So once you have already completed this particular setup, the next most important thing is for you to check on your color correction. Okay, say that you like to focus on your video first. Okay, so you can actually directly hit the color correction on your video. All right, this is actually, since you have already segregated two different videos, these will be individual videos where the color correction could be done. Okay, so when you double click on this particular footage with this audio, you'll be able to see the Lumetri color. Okay, so referring to this particular sequence panel, okay, this is a program sequence panel. You can be adjusting your footage, okay, on this basic correction. Say this is how you need to adjust it. Okay, depending on your feature. While actually need to refer to the Lumetri scopes. Okay, so in this case, this is how your Lumetri scope will be. Alright, so once you have already edited in a manner where you fit is deemed necessary, due to the fact that there might be a certain place where the color correction is needed. Okay, so once you have completed all these, okay, then you actually in a way have done your color correction. Okay guys, so once you've already done your color correction, the most important thing that people say is you need to focus on your color correction and also your color grading. So usually color grading is input of LUTs, so you can buy these LUTs or you can have it as free, or the preset LUTs that is installed together with this Premiere Pro. It's up to you guys. So in my case, I have a few video LUTs that I've obtained through free. I've downloaded for free. Okay, so this video LUTs is actually provided by some of the authors out there. You can Google search, and it's actually a step for you to understand how to use the LUTs as your color grading. Okay, so say that this is how I'm gonna do for my color grading. Okay, so guys, always remember the most important part will be before doing your color grading, check on your color correction. Okay, so upon completing your color correction and also your color grading, so the next important thing is how are you going to find your video audio. Okay, so I'll be showing you from the website of how you're going to find your video audio. Alright, so in order to actually search for free audios, okay, I'll be showing you two areas where so far I've been using and it has been quite promising for myself in actually completing all my vlogging videos, all my drone shots videos. Okay, so the first resource and the most easiest for you to go through is the free YouTube audios. Okay, so under the YouTube audio library, just click on this. Okay, you'll be getting a list of all the audio library. So just for your information, all these particular audios are for free. You can be used for your projects. Okay, written here, browse and download free music for your project. Okay, it can be used as part of your vlogging videos, but the most important part is always credit the particular person that has actually contributed this audio. Okay, so that we are actually thankful to those who has actually supported us in a way. Okay, so you can choose your genre. Okay, you can even choose the mood of your particular vlogging, the instrument type, even the duration, and you can even search for musics. So there is also some sound effect that might be useful for you to use. Okay, so all this is for free, guys, and you'll be able to use it as part of your video. Okay, so say that I would like to download this today as part of the setup to complete our video. I will be downloading this now as part of our video setup today. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to show you guys is how to download free videos on SoundCloud. Okay, say once you are in SoundCloud, okay guys, you have an account, you have registered, and you would like to search for free background music for videos. Okay, so once you have already clicked the free background music for videos, okay, you'll be able to see that there'll be a lot. Okay, but the most important thing here is ensure that you go under the tracks. Okay, once you have already searched, under the filter results here, okay, click on the C, which is the copyright, and click on to use commercially. Click on to use commercially. Okay, so what it means here by to use commercially is you are acknowledging the fact that you're going to use this audio from this author, okay, as your background music for your videos. Okay, say that this is the particular audio that you're going to use today. Just click on this, and the most important part is ensure that you'll be reading the description from the author. So it is still stated there you are free to use this song in your videos as long as you give credit. So you can include this as part of your audio usage. You can actually put this in your YouTube description of the video, crediting the author. Okay guys, so thankfully we got this kind of author to help us out in our vlogging without having to pay anything. Okay, up to this moment I've been only using free audios from YouTube and also SoundCloud. There will be opportunity for me to explore further in the near future of other websites that's actually allowing us to use their free audios. Okay, right now let's get back to Adobe Premiere Pro and complete our video. Alright, okay, once you have already downloaded your audio, okay, so now most probably it's time for you to import it. So you can actually do the same method as how you imported your footages by going into import. Okay, so in this case, wherever you have already kept your audio, just load it into your video editing software. Okay, in this case I've already uploaded this. I've already loaded this into Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, so I'll just drag this over here. Since this audio is a bit more than the video that I've made, okay, so it's depending on how long you're doing this video. Okay, in this case my entire video is say this one is around 2 minutes and 6 seconds, so I'll be able to cut short of the audio. Treat this audio as only your background music. Okay, so you don't want your background music to be higher than your voice. So if your background music is higher than your voice, your viewers will not be able to listen carefully to what you are going to say. Okay guys, so click on the C, which is the cut, and trim the audio. Okay, once you already click on the C and this is your remaining audio, you can just delete this off. Okay, so now as you can see, our footage with the audio and the background music is in the same length. Okay guys, so say once you have already completed all this and this is your final round of figure, you can see over here the red line and the yellow line. Okay, this red line means that you need to render your footage before you can export it out. Okay, so how are you going to render this footage is by clicking on the enter button. Okay, so once when you click on the enter button, it'll be rendering your line of rate. Okay, 1089 of frame, and the estimated time is 4 minutes. So once the render is completed, you'll be able to see the green line over here. So this means that your video could be played without having to render this on a natural ground. Okay guys, so when you click on the spacebar, your video will be automatically played. Okay guys, so now let's head to the last part in which we're going to do our exporting detail. Okay, so once you have already done this, click on the sequence panel here. Okay, head to the file and search for export. Alright, so under the export there's an item called media. Click on the media. Okay, so once you have clicked the media, you have came to this particular export setting. Alright, so just to give a brief introduction of how I usually do my exporting, well, most probably those professional filmmakers has a different way to do their export settings. I'm after all just doing it for my YouTube channel. So the format that you're going to use is definitely the H.264. Okay, this is the standard format for YouTube. Okay, once you've already chose your format, your presets, try to search for YouTube. Well, we're going to use YouTube at 1080p Full HD. Okay, so guys, once you've already chose YouTube 1080p at Full HD, okay, you can actually change your output name. Instead of being sequence 1, you can make it as your logging setup, say. Okay, so this will change as your vlogging setup.mp4. You can actually go through this if you need to, but I usually don't do this because I'm only using the export details of YouTube at 1080p. Okay. The next most important thing is click on this use maximum render quality. So once you have already chose the use maximum render quality, you can also check on your audio. Okay, so there's nothing much to change over here. And when all this is done, just click on the export. Okay, so in this case, it'll be rendering the entire footage of video. Say in this scenario, the video is set at 11 minutes of rendering. Okay guys, so I think that's about it on how to start editing on video software. I have actually taught all of you all today from the beginning to the end. This is how I do my video editing on Adobe Premiere Pro, and I hope you guys have learned some very little detail or much, so that it will be quite useful for you to edit your videos.
Okay guys, so I understand that today the video is quite lengthy, okay, but my sharing session today is consisting of two particular items. The first item is going to be on the best camera setting for vlogging, and the second item is how to start editing on a video software. Okay, so I hope all of you guys have an insight of what has been done in my videos and how I actually do this as a sharing session for all of you out there. Okay, this might not be on a professional level basis. In a way, this might actually kickstart your vlogging career. Okay guys, so I'll be seeing you again in the next video. Thank you very much for your valuable time. I appreciate all of your comments, your likes, and all those who have subscribed to my channel. It is a very great opportunity for me to continue with this vlogging setup and sharing session. I will meet you guys again in my next video. Thank you very much. If you're new over here, please click subscribe on the button below. Okay, thank you very much and ciao.